How to give quick and effective feedback. Giving feedback sensibly is an important skill and is one of the top 3 leadership skills every manager must develop. In this video, we want to share with you some tips on how to give feedback that is most receptive by others. In general, feedback is given when something falls short of expectation or when a mistake is made. If you're familiar with Dale Carnegie's work on how to win friends and influence people, you know he believes that criticizing others for the things they did wrong is a futile effort, and we couldn't agree more. But every day we see it happening over and over again. No doubt there's time when feedback is needed, but before you give feedback, do some investigation to see how a mistake or shortcoming could have happened. For example, if you're a construction site manager and are displeased with your staff, keep forgetting to wear their protective helmets, before calling them out to reprimand them, ask if the helmets are comfortable to wear. It may turn out that they are not. Once you know for sure how a mistake could have happened by verifying and not assuming, then you give feedback. Before getting into the framework we have for giving quick and effective feedback, we want to set some ground rules. Ground rule number 1. Never give feedback in public. Make sure every feedback given is in private, behind closed door, to allow the receiver to save face. Ground rule number 2. Never use an upset, condemning, or unfriendly tone. No matter how devastating a mistake is, always be constructive, friendly, and collaborative when giving feedback. Think about it. If a devastating mistake costs you $1 million, you don't want to make the person making this mistake feel bad and leave. You just paid $1 million in tuition for his or her lesson. He or she is probably now your most trusted person to not make this mistake again. Your job here is to make sure that the lesson is learned well. Ground rule number 3. Never lack empathy, purpose, and clarity in your message. These are the 3 pillars of every successful communication that we talked about in our other video here. Missing one of these 3 can cause a communication to fail. Now that we get all the ground rules out of the way, let's take a look at an example. An employee misreports an important figure that costs your company $1 million in lost revenue. As his manager, you also get the blame and are not in the best mood when having to talk to him about this mistake. However, you can't violate any of the ground rules by laying it thick on him. So precisely what should you do? We want you to follow the POP framework. 1. P. Praise the employee for what he did well. Before giving any feedback, you want to start with praising what went right. People don't care about what you have to say until they know that you care. If you care about people, you'll understand that no one wakes up and decides that they're going to do a bad job today. Most people do the best they can, and sometimes mistake is unavoidable. So start with recognizing that. Let the employee know what he did well on his report. Be specific. List out what aspects, components, or parts of the report that were well executed on. Let him know you see and appreciate his effort in executing those components so well. 2. O. Offer a thought for how it could have gone better. This is the hardest and trickiest part. After praising what went well, you can say, I have a few thoughts on how the report could have gone even better. Would you like to hear? If you already praised and phrase your feedback like this, the answer will most likely be yes. Then offer your thoughts on how the report can be improved, and more importantly, what checkpoints can be put in place to make sure a mistake like that won't happen again? The key is to never blame or make it personal. Keep it objective by focusing on how the report could be improved, not how he, the employee, should do better. In other words, aim at the object, not the person. It's a fine line to walk, but if you do it right, this employee will become even more productive and loyal to you. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. 3. P. Praise the employee as a person. After giving your feedback, reassure the employee that you still trust and think highly of him as a person. This time, you praise his personality traits. Before having the feedback discussion, you should think through and make a list of the good traits that you really appreciate about this employee, such as his drive, humility, positivity, honesty, resourcefulness, enthusiasm, etc. When something happens to us, we immediately categorize whether it is good or bad. However, in reality, there is no such thing as the Nova effect illustrates that every perception of our bad luck might actually be good luck and vice versa. A mistake made can be an unfortunate event, but depends on how you handle it. It can help you discover loopholes in your systems and processes, and also earn this valuable employee's, after he learned his lesson, loyalty and support for life.